revolution will be live.
What's good, YouTube? Struggling the guy Keese here, and today I want to just pull back the curtains a little bit and talk to you guys. So, the hype has died down from the Sony Showcase event that happened a couple weeks ago, and they announced some pretty huge games, and today I want to talk about one in particular. Now, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Been one since I was a wee little lad, and in 2018 they released a critically and commercially acclaimed Marvel Spider-Man, released by Insomniac Games. Now, you may know them from Ratchet & Clank, Resistance, if you had an Xbox back in the day, Sunset Overdrive, even Fuse, if you were really digging in the crates. Like, I love this studio. This has been a part of my childhood. And knowing that they were making a Spider-Man game, and then knowing that they aced it, was like a wish come true, to be honest. Now, when I got my hands on Marvel Spider-Man, you know, I played it a little bit just to get my feet wet, see what the controls was like, seeing if I really was going to like it or not. You know, nothing too serious. And needless to say, they delivered 100%. So you could bet your sweet bippity boop that I was awaiting the all but confirmed announcement for the sequel. Now, on that fine fateful day of September 9th, my wish was granted. It was confirmed, Marvel Spider-Man 2 to release 2 years later. But I'm not mad. In fact, I anticipated this, to be honest. So I figured I'd share my wish list with you guys for the sequel and a new segment that I like to call Keese Speaks. First, we're going to talk about the gameplay. Now, overall, the gameplay from the 2 previous games, very phenomenal job, and did a very good job at distinguishing Peter's gameplay from Miles' gameplay. Peter, the experienced hero, swings through the city with finesse and accuracy, while Miles, the naive freebird, swings through the city at breakneck speeds while flipping and committing fancy air tricks. Some would even say he has exaggerated swagger. The 2 games had a very distinctive theme as well. For Peter, it was be greater, while Miles' was be yourself. These models stay true to how they traverse through the city and how they fight. Peter's combat style is very precise. His knowledge and speed allow him to bounce between enemy to enemy with the intent of stopping them as soon as possible. He hits fast and he hits hard, and along with the gadgets he has at his disposal, he becomes a very formidable opponent. Miles' fight style, on the other hand, is grounded yet slick, and his enthusiastic charm bleeds into how he fights criminals and bosses alike. He thrusts his fists and feet towards enemies, and his venom powers give him a very stupendous advantage. A person from the outside looking in can clearly see the 2 differences. And let's be honest, playing as Miles was extremely better. Now, this is a game made for Peter, so his gameplay needs to be upgraded. Like, it needs to be as fun playing as Miles as Peter, you know what I'm saying? Since this is mainly Peter's game, give him some more finishers, some new air tricks or something like that. Let him swing faster maybe than Miles. All I'm saying is, not that it wasn't fun playing as Peter, but Miles' gameplay was just 10 times better, and Peter needs to have the spotlight, gameplay-wise. The first 2 games looked spectacular. Now, whether you were playing on PS4 or PS5, you were still seeing stunning graphics no matter what. Most of the time. And the trailer that was released for Spider-Man 2 was all in the engine. Now, it won't necessarily look the exact same come release day. It could even look better. But now, in terms of graphics, I have nothing to say. However, the visuals for a Spider-Man game mean nothing without the men of the hour. Both Peter and Miles received visual upgrades to their suits. The changes aren't so subtle to the point where you won't notice them, but stand out enough to warrant a second glance. They also don't change the look drastically to the point where they're unrecognizable. The biggest changes for Peter is a deeper red overall in the suit, a smaller red torso piece, and a slimmer shaped spider. For Miles, his suit has a darker shade of black, as well as red sleeves down his arms, and a brighter red on the web lines. I admire the changes they did for the suits. It's not really that much different, so it's not really much I can say about them. Now, speaking of suits, Insomniac did a very good job of adding a whole lot of suits into the first 2 games. Now for Peter, I would like to see the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, the Human Spider suit, the Captain Universe suit, Sensational Spider-Man suit, the Ben Reilly cosplayer suit, and like every symbiote suit there is to exist. And to be honest, a whole lot more. For Miles, I would like the Demon Miles suit, the Shadow Spire suit, the Captain America suit, Absolute Carnage costume, and I just realized this list can go on forever. But hold on, hear me out, Insomniac. Hey, if you're listening, hey, I'm about to print you money. I think having 2 sets of suits for 2 different heroes is kind of a lot, and not in a good way necessarily. Hey, I'd still take it now. But hear me out, right? Say if you could create your own Spider-Man suit from a base model and just swap out pieces from other Spider-Man suits to make your own unique Spider-Man suit. Like for instance, you could take the big time mask with the last stand jacket, the homemade suit pants, and the classic suit boots. But why stop there? You can change the colors for each individual piece of the suit and even change the filter for it. You can make it look like it's from the Into the Spider-Verse movie or like it's ripped straight from the comics. Like, this would be so awesome. I even tweeted you guys back in 2018 about the chance of this feature being in the first game. You said no, you goofy goober. Now, I know this is a daunting task and probably is close to impossible, but with the power of the PS5, maybe you guys can pull it off. I don't know. But please give me a moment to put the shades on, because it's about to get dark. Now, I completely trust Insomniac with the story. I'm not necessarily looking for anything in particular, but it will be cool to see a few things come into fruition. Now, as far as the main story goes, we know that Venom is the main villain along with Kraven the Hunter being an antagonist, though the length and importance of his role is unknown at this point. I'll go more in depth in another video about the characters I would like to appear, but for now, Venom needs to be absolutely scary, like how he was in Ultimate Spider-Man. It has been confirmed that this game will have a much darker tone than the first, and for those who don't know, who haven't played the first game or seen a walkthrough, it gets increasingly dark as the game went on. So in terms of Peter getting the symbiote, I want to see the moral anguish that he is going through. I want to see the push and pull of Peter's morality and the power and control the symbiote has over him. He's been through a lot, especially towards the end of the first game, and we haven't really gotten a good checkup on Peter's mental health. So I would like to see how he's really dealing with things and how the symbiote can, like, test him. And in terms of gameplay, we need an enhanced moveset, if not a whole new moveset for Black Suit Spider-Man. Imagine if you had the tendrils like you did in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions or Spider-Man Web of Shadows, along with more brutal finishers. What if you could take your tendrils to make constructs like a shield, or like use the tendril to sweep a bunch of enemies off their feet? Like, I want to see those scenes of Peter losing himself over time. And when Peter absolutely loses control, I think a fight between Miles and Peter where you control Miles will be epic. A kind of student versus teacher moment. Oh my god. Imagine if you were Peter and you had to whoop Miles' ass. Never mind that. That would be way better. Oh my god. Like, imagine they have a cinematic fight where Peter beats Miles and he leaves Miles brutally beaten, and that's the driving force that makes him get rid of the suit, which attracts the symbiote to find its next host. What if Miles even gets the symbiote? Because that does happen in the comics. Now, for those who haven't seen a walkthrough of Spider-Man or played it, I'm not going to spoil how the symbiote came to be or who I think would be the next host, but all I'm going to say is this story has the potential to be something truly special, and I believe Insomniac will do something interesting and fresh. The first game had quite a sizable DLC with a new story introducing new characters, giving previously introduced characters more limelight, and giving us new suits spread across 3 DLC packs. It has been confirmed that this is a single player game, but hear me out. I see 2 Spider-Men. I don't see why there can't be DLC centered around you and another player picking which Spider-Man you want to be and take on a villain or 2, spread across a neatly woven story. Imagine, there's a story that 2 players can do together, but there's also a whole city the 2 of you can explore and stop crimes, do side missions, acquire collectibles, do races, take cool pictures in photo mode, etc. There could even be a boss rush mode or a survival mode taking on wave after wave of small-time thugs that could escalate to like Sable Soldiers or members of the Underground and bosses. Like, it would be so amazing, and I need to stop before I bust a blood vessel. What did you think I was going to say? Alright, y'all, I'm in my ranting here. There's so much I really want to talk about with this damn game, but I'm going to save it. I said my piece. I'm going to come back to it definitely, though. And I know I asked a lot of Insomniac games, but I will not be mad because I know whatever they're going to give us is going to be amazing, and I'm going to absolutely love it. If you guys are excited for the new Spider-Man game, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys maybe want to see differently. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, welcome to the Struggle House, and I'ma holla at you.